Google released Developer Preview 5 of Android Things, adding Android Low, OpenGLS and WebView on the rpi3, and support for an i.mx6 ALL-based SpreadKit. Google's Android Things Developer Preview 5 DP5 is the latest release of the original preview released last December when Google announced that its Brillo OS for IoT was being retooled into an Android Things distribution. The major improvement is a shift to a foundation of Android Low, the nickname for what is expected to be an Android 8.0 release due in the next few months. There is also an improved Android Things console, a new i.mx6 will target the NXP-supported Mirata SpreadKit, and OpenGLS 2.0 WebView and dynamic pin muxing support on the Raspberry Pi 3. Android Things architecture. Click image to enlarge. Last week, Google released Android O Developer Preview 4, the last preview before the final release. Android O, possibly for Oreo, offers improved notification channels, picture-in-picture mode, unread notification app badges, adaptive icons, and better Bluetooth audio support, among other changes. With Android Things DP5 shifting to Android Low, your future Android Things applications should target rpi3 to work correctly on the platform with our support libraries, says Google. Android Things DP5 also improves on the Android Things console that Google launched in June for over-the-OTA updates. The latest release makes a number of UX improvements to the console to improve usability and functionality, says Google. Another new DP5 feature is the availability of Android Things samples directly within Android Studio for browsing and importing. The samples include interactions with buttons, sensors, LEDs, and displays, as well as implementations of Google Assistant and TensorFlow. Raspberry Pi 3. Several new features target the Raspberry Pi 3, which is Android Things' main high-end target, especially now that Intel has discontinued the Atom-based dual module that Google had been targeting. Another Android Things target, the older, lower-end Edison module, was also discontinued by Intel. Google made no mention of any new x86-based boards to round out its Android Things offerings. Android Things DP5 adds support for OpenGLS 2.0 and WebView on the Raspberry Pi 3. Google also added dynamic pin muxing on the rpi3, enabling GPIO pins to be configured at runtime depending on what features are being used. With the removal of the Edison, Google has added yet another NXP i.mx6 ALL-based target to address low-power IoT applications. The new board is the Mirata SpreadKit i.mx6 UL, which has also been added to NXP's Android Things page. Mirata's SpreadKit i.mx6 UL DevKit, formerly Mirata IoT SOM EVK. Click images to enlarge. SpreadKit i.mx6 UL appears to be the new name for the Mirata IoT SOM EVK that was announced in June in conjunction with Mirata's 40x40mm Aquila 6 UL. This module has since been renamed SpreadKit UL. The SpreadKit i.mx6 UL DevKit joins several other previously announced targets based on the low-power Cortex-A7 i.mx6 ultralight SoC. These include NXP Technections Pico i.mx6 UL DevKit, previously released as WandBoard.org's Brillo-focused Hobbit board, and also released by NXP under the name NXP i.mx6 UL Development Platform. The carrier board taps Technections Pico i.mx6 UL. Technections PICO i.mx7 module, which runs on NXP's Pico i.mx6 7D DevKit. Click images to enlarge. Since last December, Google has added support for the NXP Pico i.mx7 DPDF, which appears to use the same Pico i.mx6 UL baseboard, but with a Technection PICO i.mx7 module based on the dual-core version of NXP's i.mx7, a Cortex-A7 SoC with a Cortex-M4 MCU. Technection promotes the module as being hardware platform compatible with Intel Edison baseboards. The rugged 40x37mm module, which offers optional Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, also supports standard Android and Linux distributions. The module ships with up to 2 GB DDR3L and offers 4 GB eMMC, optional microSD, and Ethernet support. Argon i.mx6 UL. There's also an Argon i.mx6 UL kit from NXP, an Argon boards owned by VVDN Technologies, which was originally announced as the Android Things Ready NXP Argon board with i.mx6 UL.com. Like the other two dev kits, this is a sandwich-style board, in this case tapping the Argon i.mx6 UL SOM. Further information: the Android Things DP5 is available now for free download. More information may be found on Google's DP5 announcement and Android Things Developer Kits page.